Unfortunately, I just got done watching The Acolyte episode 4, and let me tell you, it was as bad as you would expect. It was just a boring, pathetic, terribly written, bad dialogue episode, and on the surface, not a lot happened, at least on the surface. It's just very much like walking and going from point A to point B, and nothing really happens, and nothing gets accomplished. But a lot was accomplished, not from a storytelling standpoint. No, because who's in this show for the story? This show wasn't made for story. This show was made for agendas and bullshit. And from that perspective, a lot happened because, as Chris Gore told us, we have pronouns in Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, pronouns are here. And basically, they got this cute little cuddly character that we can market and we can sell. And they introduced this character. And of course, OSHA's like, who is he or they? And you're like, what the hell are we doing here? So yes, introducing current day pronouns into a galaxy far, far away. This is what the Acolyte exists for. It's not here for story. It's not here to build the lore. It's not here to represent George Lucas's Star Wars at all. So when people are breaking down, I mentioned this on Tuesday Night's Main Event, when people are breaking down dialogue, well, if this happened or that happened, none of it matters because it was never meant for that reason. This was meant to push agenda-driven bullshit. That is it. I mean, for crying out loud, look at the cast right here. This cast was made for having as little white males as possible in this cast. That is what this is for. That's it. I mean, I'm glad the Techno Viking found work. I'm glad the Techno Viking showed up in tonight's episode. But, I mean, it's just a diversity showcase. And again, as I've said, not a problem with diversity as long as that's not the predominant reason. And the predominant reason for this show is to be a diversity showcase. That is it. That's the only reason. And of course, you are currently sitting at a 14% audience score right now. And look, let me be clear. This episode on the surface, it's not as bad as episode 3. It's not even close to being the worst episode. It's not a good episode. It's very boring. And not a lot happens on the surface, but it's definitely nowhere near as bad as episode 3. Episode 3 is one of the worst television episodes in the history of existence. That is just the truth. This might have been, I guess just because it wasn't in your face bad, I guess this might be the best episode so far of the 4. But trust me, that is not a compliment at all. And as I said, something else happened. Now, again, from a story standpoint, not a lot happened. But, something did happen, and one of the things that we said was going to happen. Now, let me take you back to a game called Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 introduced a new character, Iden, who was part of the Empire. And everybody was like, there's no way Lucasfilm's going to add a woman of color and keep her as an Empire, like on the Empire. Of course she's going to turn good. And guess what? She turned good because there's no way you can have a strong, diverse woman who's just genuinely evil. You can't have that. No. Well, guess what happened tonight, ladies and gentlemen? For a reason no one can explain, there's no reason whatsoever. That from a story standpoint, from a dialogue standpoint, there's no reason that led to this decision other than the fact that, hey, I'm going to turn myself in. That's right. The evil sister suddenly just like, hey, I'm going to turn myself in. Sorry, not Sith man, who clearly discount Ezra Miller, Dollar General Ezra Miller in this show is clearly the Smilo Ren guy. It's clearly him. It's so obvious. The way that they're making this guy a bumbling, stumbling idiot and all of that. Of course he's the guy. Of course. With his little... Anyway, Dollar Store Ezra Miller, her friend, is clearly Smilo Ren, the Sith. Clearly. Okay? But she sets a little trap for him, and he gets caught in the trap, and she's just like, I'm going to turn myself in. You know, my sister's alive. I'm going to turn myself in. It's like, what? Where did this come from? You know where it came from? It's because we can't have diverse woman be a bad guy. There has to be a reason why she turned this way, and we have now found it. And now the evil sister is no longer a bad guy. Just like Aiden, there was always something that was going to prevent her from being truly evil, because only white men can be evil. Only the white men can be the true evil. For anyone else that's bad, there's always a justifiable reason that's led them down this path, and we're going to help find them to bring them back over to the good side, because at their heart, they're very good. Okay? At their heart, they're very good. There was just something bad that turned them to the dark side. And that's what we got tonight. That's what we got tonight. And this is how you end up at a 14%. So we got pronouns introduced in tonight's episode. And we see the evil sister suddenly, magically, for no reason whatsoever, magically, she's now turning herself in. She's going to turn herself in. She's going to expose her master, whatever. The whole thing is so bad. Now, it ends on a cliffhanger with Smilo Ren walking up to Osha and the other sister. And all the Jedi are there, and they all, pull out their lightsabers, and the Sith's there, and it's just a cliffhanger ending. It's the dumbest show on television, and it's not even close. I can't believe how stupid all of this shit is. It's mind-blowing to me how dumb all of this is. But this is where we are in 2024. This is Lucasfilm. The Force is female. This is Leslie Headland, Star Wars, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant. And now that we are 4 episodes in and we have the 14% audience score, the question becomes, how much worse can it get? And I don't have the answer to that question. I believe it can get worse than episode 3, but that is saying a lot, because episode 3 was truly a terrible episode, but it can get worse. But this episode, on the surface, not a lot happened. A lot of walking, a lot of cringy dialogue, a lot of stupid just interactions with the characters. And then ultimately, like I said, we get pronouns, and we have the evil sister, the diverse, evil, strong sister is now turning herself in, because she suddenly, magically, in the snap of an instant, suddenly, she's a good person now. She's got to turn herself in. It's the dumbest show I've ever seen. That's the latest on this crap. We'll break it down even further, but that's my initial thoughts coming into it. No notes, no anything. That's just everything off the top of my head. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.